All right, there we go. You won't be awake much longer, Alan. Yeah, it's late and you got to be up early. Well, welcome to Thursday Night Live. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. I was about to ask that question. Also known as Late Night with Mike and Monty. Monty was just on my desk here, but I do not see him right now. He just ate, so maybe he's going into a food coma. So all right, so hey everybody, Donna, you're up late. That's great. Late is great. Who do we have? I'm one of us. Oh, man, I I I don't remember who I am one of us is. The online handles, matching them up with the real names, I'm not very good at. Of course, I know Donna's Alan Hughes. Alan Hughes, I know what your handle is. It's Alan Hughes. Dave and Kim and Rom, everyone. Frank, there you go. All right, yeah, Alan, tell us how it was, and while you do that, I will tell you what Kelly told me. Kelly texted me today, Kelly Young. I don't know if he had the day off or what, but he said, I'm watching Salem's Lot, and it actually doesn't suck. It's actually pretty good. I had heard the opposite, and so that's good to know. Eh, I don't have HBO, but maybe I'll get another free trial or something and watch it, or pay for a month. Kelly did say that the third act goes in a different direction than the book, but that's okay. Movies are adaptations. They don't have to be, they don't have to perfectly mimic the source material. Speaking of Salem's Lot, guys, and you can find this on YouTube. The BBC a while back did a very good audio drama of Salem's Lot. You guys know how much I love audio dramas. And it's really good. It's actually quite spooky on parts, especially if you're listening to it at 1 in the morning, in the middle of the night, in bed in the dark, or driving. Oh, okay, Donna, you've heard it. Yeah, it's creepy, isn't it? Danielle, my wife Danielle, watched the 1979 Salem's Lot on TV when she was a little girl, and to this day, it's been almost 50 years, and to this day, if I go tap tap tap, she's like, "Stop it, Mike! Stop it!" Because that scene where the vampire kid is floating outside the window, and he's like, let me in," tapping at the window, freaks it freaked her the hell out. So yeah, and I still love that original 1979 version quite a bit. I'm glad to hear I'm glad to hear that the new one is good. The 2006 one, or whenever that was, with Rob Lowe, is of course horrible. Yeah, the floating kid, Kim. To this day, that spooks the hell out of Danielle. You know, I assume everyone here has read the book. Um, I mean, no shame if not. We've all got very high TBRs, right? But I've read the book probably 3 times in my life. It's a very good book. I really like it. Um, Yeah, I mean, King was talented then and he's talented now. The only thing I didn't care for in the book is I honestly didn't think that Barlow was all that scary. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. But I like the setting. I like the town. Um, it's just a good book. That's all I'm trying to say. But yeah, if you guys have not heard the BBC audio drama of Salem's Lot, you really should check that out. Last time I checked, you can listen to it for free on YouTube. So, yeah, exactly, Ram. It was a tiny bit anticlimactic. They got Barlow pretty easy in the end. The BBC audio drama begins with the the kid. I'm sorry, I forget his name, and I've read the book 3 times. He's he just got done confessing to a priest, and he told the priest the whole story. Yes, thank you, Mark. Mark told the priest the whole story, and the priest says to, boy, I am tired. Ben is the writer's name, right? The priest says to the writer, you know, the story is pretty strange, and yeah, Ben Mears, right? Thank you, Mark Petrie, Ben Mears. Thanks, guys. The priest says to Ben, I don't know if I believe this or not, in so many words. And then he has Ben tell him the story again. And then it does the flashback to Ben getting to Salem's Lot and everything that happened after that. So, yeah, do check out the BBC audio drama. And if, let me know if you do. Shoot me an email or a Facebook message or something and let me know what you thought of it. Let's see, Davey. Only had time enough for a single film. I'm not sure what you mean, Davey. Used it on a rewatch of The Devil Commands, 1941 with Karloff. Hmm. Morbid atmosphere, mystery, and sadness. I, I had, I don't think I've ever even heard of this movie. Yeah, and speaking of vampires, Donna is rereading The Suicide Motor Club. And have you gotten to The Lesser Dead yet, Donna? Um, or is the audiobook a reread for you? I really I think highly of both of those vampire novels, but I like probably if I had to choose one over the other, it would be The Lesser Dead. I don't know if you guys caught my interview. Well, John Langan and our interview with Christopher Buhlman, um, but it was really good. I always love talking to Chris, and I've been doing shorts on the YouTube channel lately as well. And I did the short where he talks about his inspiration for The Lesser Dead. And he said sometimes it comes to him in an image. And he saw, the young vampire on a train looking out at the protagonist, I think he said. Something like that. But anyway, I've had Chris on the show a couple times, and I really love chatting with him. And by the way, I'm sure you guys probably know this, but Christopher narrated the audiobooks for both of those books, and he is fantastic. He really is fantastic. And speaking of the Lesser Dead, and speaking of audio dramas, the Lesser Dead was turned into an audio drama. I'm not sure if it's only on Spotify. I'm not sure, but Minnie Driver is in it, uh, and then Val Kilmer, I think his name's Jack Kilmer, plays Joey. The audio drama is really good, so check that out too. You can listen to that for free. So maybe somebody Google for me. Is the Lesser Dead audio drama just on Spotify, or is it on all the podcast platforms? Let me know. So, so how's everybody doing tonight? You know the nice thing about Thursday Night Live? Tomorrow's Friday, right? Um, you guys got plans for the weekend? Who's got plans? My plan, as always, will be to do the show on Sunday. Saturday, so well, sometime over the weekend, I'm conning Danielle and Logan into hanging, helping me frame and hanging a couple of more posters in the book house here, and then it'll be, I think, absolutely done as far as that goes. So after I do that, I will do a video tour of the book house, and I will put it on this YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for that. Probably in a few days to a week, as long as I get those pictures up. I'm waiting for that. All right, Alan and Rom say it's on other platforms. It's on Apple and Spotify. That probably means it's everywhere. Um, Night Court. I love Night Court, man. And Chairs. Davey says The Devil Commands is based on a William Sloane book, which is added to the TBR. Definitely a weird fiction slant to the story. Oh, the movie that you were talking about. So, what posters? I have. Alan knows this because he sent me a poster of this Dennis O'Neil story from back in the day. It was 3 comic book annuals, all one story arc. First Batman, then Green Arrow, and then The Question. And I printed up a real nice copy of the last 3 pages of The Question, and I want to frame those. And let's see here. Ditto for a bear with me tonight. I got like 2 hours sleep last night. Man, that's a whole nother story. But um, Phantom Stranger, yeah, Secret Origins from 1988, 89, something like that. 4 possible origins of the Phantom Stranger, and the very last story by Alan Moore was just incredible, especially the ending. And you guys have probably heard me quote it before, but the Phantom Stranger says to this kid who's just been beat up, he says, "I am but a stranger," which is his line to everyone. But the little twist there is in the next frame. He says, "As are we all." Something like, "Trapped inside our separate skins, we cannot know each other's pain and must bear our own in solitude." Yeah, yeah. Kelly does have some cool posters. He's just got a bunch of cool stuff in his apartment. From what I've seen, I've never seen his apartment personally, but yeah. All right. So anyway, and oh, I've also got a poster of Superman 1978. The poster that has the Superman shield, and below it it says, "You will believe a man can fly." I want to put that up also, as long as I can find room. Mike DeBronzo sent me the Fog poster, which is framed and up. I'm looking at it right now. Alan Hughes sent me a. Um, this wasn't sold. This was just in comic book shops and so forth. Alan tells me, but it's artwork of Batman and Green Arrow and the Question all on one poster. And Alan's a very kind person and a good friend. And when he heard that I love this story, he had this sitting around from his days working in a comic book shop long time ago, right, Alan? And sent it to me. Yeah, an Alaskan artist did send me. I told him how much I love the print on his website, and he sent it to me. And yeah, that'll be part of the tour. He's the uh, he's the guy that says that told me that this is his comfort podcast. John Coyne, Coyne, and check out his website. Yeah, I told him that was my Donna. I told him that was my favorite print of his or painting of his, and he just sent it to me. It was really nice. He sent Laird, I think, a sculpture once, and maybe something else. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's very very talented. All right, I was about to I was about to say, Alan, uh, I was wondering if you went to bed, but not yet. I was up, and Danielle and I were up so late last night, and then we got a little bit of sleep and got up again because her school is just being, well, let me say this. The short version is bureaucracy is rearing its ugly head, and they want Danielle to and all the teachers to follow along and teach something called Study Sync, which you've probably heard of, Alan. And that's not the way Danielle teaches, and I know I'm biased, but Danielle is an incredibly talented teacher, and the kids just love her. I mean, kids request her class, and it's very upsetting for her. And but she was able to the I don't know what what the title of this person is, Alan, the person that's over the whole district. I forget, but she heard that Danielle was going to have a meeting, and so she made it her business to be there. Bottom line is, there's no way in hell they want Danielle to leave, especially this lady. The kids are, 14 to 18, so it 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 got so bad over the last couple weeks that we thought maybe even she's just gonna have to quit and go somewhere else, and she was that close today. And if it hadn't been for the big boss being there saying, no way, we can't lose her, um, in essence, it might have gone another way. So anyway, the story has a happy ending. There's still bureaucracy, but yeah, exactly, Alan. I just felt so bad for her because it's not just a job to her, it's a calling. You know what I mean? Like this is what she was born to do. And when you have a when you have a true believer like that, someone who really believes in helping the kids and not just teaching the kids, but being there for the kids and inspiring the kids, you don't want to crush their spirit with red tape and bureaucracy. You know, just that's about all I should say because it's not my story to tell, but it looks like we're going to get a happy ending on this. So, anyway, I was thinking about, as I do when I do this late night episode, I was thinking about stories in which late night DJs figure prominently. Um, there's a movie called AM 1200, which is very Lovecraftian, and it is on YouTube now with the director put it there. And it's about 45 minutes long, if memory serves. I, I first found out about it when I first started doing, uh, the first year or two after I created the e-zines. That was a long, long time ago. Back then we had to buy the DVDs and they were scarce. But now it is on YouTube. I'm just gonna do a quick search and make sure it is. Yes, Lovecraftian short film AM 1200. Um, 40 minutes long. And if you haven't seen it, you really, really should check it out. But I thought about it because the a late night DJ in the desert figures prominently in it. I just love that. I wish I could find more stories like that, Lovecraftian or no, but where there's a late night DJ, kind of an Art Bell, fictional Art Bell coming at you from the desert. I forget what his opening line was, but it was so cool. And there is a new audio drama on Audible for those of you interested in this. Let me pull it up on my phone because apparently I'm not signed in on my Chromebook. I listened to the first episode last night as I was going to sleep. Okay, here it is. It's called Tower 57, and you can't see that. It's called Tower 57, and it is on Audible. I don't know if it's anywhere else. It is free. You don't have to uh, you don't have to spend a credit on it. And let me just read this to you guys. This, I really enjoyed the first episode. There are some really creepy moments. All right, here we go. If you drive past the lights of downtown Roswell, north on Route 285, into the darkness of the New Mexico desert, you'll run across a little radio station with a single tower. This is the home of WKLEN Talk Radio, broadcast through Tower 57. Fresh out of the local community college and eager to start his career in radio production, Luther Stenson arrives for his first shift as an intern on Evening Sands, a late-night radio show focused on the unexplainable and broadcast throughout the lower 48. Luther's first night in radio quickly becomes one he'll never forget, when a mysterious caller, known only as Magnolia, begins to interfere with the station's broadcast. As the night progresses, Luther and the station crew are pushed to their psychological and emotional limits as they uncover a life-threatening secret and deal with forces beyond their control. The desert is lonely at night. In the city known for attracting millions to the uncanny, tonight the uncanny is attracted to the only light in the desert, the blinking red crown of Tower 57. Experience this title in immersive 3D audio, headphones recommended, and like I said, first episode, I really enjoyed it, and I hope the quality continues. So, Killer Frequency. I'll have to check that out, Alan. Um, and then this is kind of adjacent, but I've just started listening to a audio drama podcast called Alice Isn't Dead, which is about an over-the-road trucker and her wife um, died supposedly or disappeared a year or two ago, and she starts seeing her image everywhere, I guess. I've only listened to the first episode. Anyway, it's really good. And yeah, Kim, it's funny. I was just thinking of the Vast of Night, and then, you know me, my brain blanked on it because I hadn't written it down. Because that's definitely a DJ Central desert creepy as hell movie. And so thank you for bringing it up because I don't know if I would have remembered. The Vast of Night, for those of you who have not seen it, is incredible. Um, excuse me. And Davey brought it up too. During COVID, he says, we ran over to the Galaxy Drive-In in Ennis to see the Vast of Night revolving around a young night shift Southwest radio DJ who is tossed in the middle of a UFO mystery. Davey, are you, I've probably asked you this before, but are you in Texas? Talking about Ennis, Texas? Because Ennis, Texas is about 15 minutes away from me. You can watch The Vast of Night on Amazon Prime. So it's amazing. I think I'm due for a rewatch. Has everybody seen it? I don't want to spoil anything. But I won't spoil anything. Where do you live now, Davey, if you don't mind me asking? You told me a few Thursdays ago, but I'm blanking on it. I'm sorry. Um, yeah. When, how can I put this? There's um there's a moment in the film where someone is speaking a language, and I am amazed at the writers who came up with this fictional language, this fictional paragraph or a few sentences or whatnot, um, because they're creepy as hell. Even before I knew what they were, just listening to them was creepy, and that movie is just so well done. Um, Yeah, Waxahachie, that's where I'm at. Oh, you're west of Fort Worth now, so you're a couple of hours away. Metroplex is huge. All the same TV stations, radio stations. Anyway, I'm just glad to no longer be in Corsicana, which is, how can I say this kindly? It's a shithole. And Waxahachie is just so much nicer. It really is. So, 85 minutes, so about an hour and a half. Okay. Yeah, sounds about right. Anyway, what are you guys reading? And how are you doing? Kim, I've been wanting to ask you something for a while, and you can answer this in an email if you don't want to say it here, but did you tell me that you're a pharmacist? I think I think I think you said that one time. My fibrofog has kicked in so hugely today. What is pharmacy tech? I mean, you're not handing out prescriptions to people, are you? You're fixing the computers? Is that what pharmacy tech is? Got my coffee here. And then, of course, you have the wonderful, wonderful film Pontypool. If you haven't seen that, you really owe it to yourself to watch it. Also, after you see it, someone used uh, the audio in the movie to create an audio drama. In other words, this is a movie that quite a bit of it is the protagonist doing his DJ thing. So you don't necessarily need visual for so much of this. And someone realized that. And if you Google Pontypool audio drama on YouTube, you'll come across it. It's pretty cool. But you probably want to watch the film first. So fill the scripts, ring people up. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, so in other words, I deal with your compatriots, your colleagues every time I go fill up my get pick up a prescription, right? Sort of colleagues. Um, and then thanks for indulging me, but and then the book Summer of Night by Dan Simmons. Okay, Dave says, Mike, I know your son does video games, but are there any cool Lovecraft or noir games that you have played? Yes, but the real expert here is Alan Hughes. If Alan is still on, I know he's got to get up early. We've got a games page on the website, Dave, which you probably know, but if you go to lovecraftzine.com, Lovecraft Zine website, and click on Lovecraftian video games or cosmic horror games, whatever it is, um, there's a nice list there. So it's it's a nice resource, I think. Looks like Alan went to bed. He didn't even say goodnight. Oh, no, he's there. Sorry, Alan. Best recent Lovecraftian game is still Wakes the Deep. Is that what that is? Um, but yeah, Alan is the expert. Summer of Night is a wonderful book. It's on Audible as well and narrated very well. But one of the kids, he loves one of the kids in that book. He loves to listen to night radio, talk radio, baseball games, um, whatever. And it's just described in such a way that makes me think of when I was a kid and late at night listening to old time radio and talk radio and all kinds of things, laying in there in bed. And I still feel this way when I go to bed and I'm listening to an audiobook or an audio drama. The way I felt when I was a kid listening to old time radio in bed with the lights off, and nobody knew I was doing it because I didn't want to get in trouble. Um, that's a long story. Why would you get in trouble for that? But those of you who know me can probably figure that out. And just this wonderful feeling of I'm going to bed, I'm going to sleep soon, I'm going to fall asleep soon, but I am on an adventure. I'm on this adventure as I lay here in the dark in bed. And I loved that feeling growing up. We didn't have a TV. Um, and I love the feeling now. Every night when I go to bed, there's not one night that goes by that I don't put an audiobook on or an audio drama on. If I'm really, really, really tired, I'll still put an audio on, but it'll be one that I've, maybe heard 10 times, so I don't really have to pay that much attention. Um, One that I repeat a lot is Graphic Audio's Batman Dead White, and there's also, um, let's see here, they've got several DC comics that are really good, and of course I've got hundreds of audiobooks on Audible. So, oh, you're welcome, Davey. Um, we're gonna iron out within the next 5 or 6 months. We're gonna figure out the Lovecraft easing, little mini convention. A lot of people said they did want to do it, and so you're not gonna have too far to go. You're not gonna have to hop a plane or anything. A lot of people, I don't know that anyone will come. I think some will. I've got a couple of friends who said they will, and a couple, you know, fans, followers that said they will come. But there's an awful lot of people in, I guess, within a few hours of the Dallas Fort Worth area, like me, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I was actually shocked. I kind of put it out there as an experiment and asked you guys in the Lovecraft Easing Facebook group, and the response was really, really nice. Um, it surprised me because it wouldn't have surprised me if one or two people would have said, "Hey, yeah, that's a great idea," and nobody else responded. Um, because people are busy and all that. But thanks for making me uh, thanks for making me feel like I'm important or something. No, kidding. What's important is the community. Um, that's the most important element of all of this, isn't it? The podcasts and the interviews with writers and creators, horror movie directors, all that's amazing, to be able to talk to these folks and to be able to share them with my listeners. But the community that is, the easing community is amazing. I wouldn't trade you guys for anything. I used to have a job in real estate before I got sick, and this is not a brag, I'm just trying to make a point. I made a lot of money. Um, but you know what? If I could go back to real estate making a lot of money and the choice between that and doing this for a much smaller sum of money, I would stay where I'm at. You guys mean a lot to me, and I'm glad to know you all. I hope on some level all of you guys consider me your friend. Um, all right, we talked about AM 1200. Hey, you know what? Welcome to October, right? This is October the 3rd, or at least it is for some of us. Actually, probably all of us for the next 20 minutes. And then you East Coast folks will be into October 4th. I'll wrap this up before too long so that you guys who want to be here for the whole thing can get to bed. But but yeah, October, we got some great guests coming up, and as usual, we're going to do the Lovecraft Easing uh, Halloween episode later on in the month with Scott Thomas and Jeff Thomas and whoever on the regular panel wants to be there. So let me ask you this. The weather has gotten a little bit cooler, Dave. So instead of 105 degrees, it's been getting up to 91, 92 for the past 10 days or so. Um, so yes, it has gotten cooler. I wish it would get a whole lot cooler than that, but it's amazing that difference. I can sit out walking at night when it's that hot. It's still humid as hell and it's in the high 80s, at midnight. And that's just no fun. And now at night, it's cool enough that it just feels nice not to be so hot. And it feels nice to be able to sit on my back deck in the shade, even during the day, and not immediately start sweating. So, so yeah, the Thomas brothers, they've got some great Halloween stories. Um, I hope all of you guys are Patreons. I know most of you, at least most of you are. Yeah, we do deserve a cool front, Davy. Davy. Damn, do we ever. Um, anyway, Patreon. I hope most of you guys are, all of you guys are Patreons. I'm sure most of you are. But having said that, you should also, if you can afford it, be a Laird Baron Patreon as well. Right now for Patreons, Laird is doing true stories, one a day, true spooky stories that have happened to him throughout his life, growing up, um, as an adult, all kinds of things. And yeah, he's done one each day. I think I helped Laird get it all set up. Jessica and I just kind of nagged him until he agreed to do a um, Patreon. Because as you all know, Laird has some major health problems, and he does not have a job and can't have a job outside of writing, which is not exactly for most writers, you know, um, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But I helped him get it set up, and he's his Patreon. Obviously, he's Laird Barron. He's popular. His Patreon's been very successful. But I remember we started at $5, just like mine does, $5 a month. And you know, uh, if you've not gotten in on the Laird Barron Patreon yet, this is an excellent time to do it. in October with all the spooky but true stories that he's telling. So, um, yeah. And for those of you, I've said this a million times, so I'll keep it short. Several years ago, I did a Patreon only podcast with Laird where he talked about, um, for about an hour and a half, I think, if I remember right, strange but true things that have happened. And there's some creepy shit, man. Speaking of creepy shit, here's something that happened to me the other day. On one level, it's kind of banal, but on another level, I don't understand what the hell is going on. Yeah, the shower curtain, right? Sorry, I skipped back to Laird for a second there. All right, so the other night, I'm out here in the book house. It's early evening. Everybody is still awake in the house, and we feed, at least 8 or 9 outdoor cats that used to roam the neighborhood, and now they figured out who the softies are, and they're hanging out in around here. So I try to keep I do keep a water bowl and a dry cat food plate or two out there for them. So I don't know what this was, about 9 o'clock, 9:30, something like that. I walk in from the bookhouse to the house, and I walk right past where we keep their food and water. And the water bowl is gone, and the food plates are gone. So I thought, huh, Danielle or Logan brought them in for some reason. We do bring in the food at night most of the time because um, there are raccoons around here too, and there's a possum. And I am I hate possums. I'm a racist when it comes to possums. I'm a possumist. They they're just so fucking wicked looking faces and those teeth, and they look like huge rats with creepy faces. Yes, I'm an opossumist. I'm opposed to possums. Anyway, so I thought, okay, Logan brought in the food because he doesn't want, well, I don't want to spend my money on feeding possums. Cats, yes. Possums, no. And raccoons, no. I go in and I said to Danielle, I said, "Hey, who brought in and I see the water bowl empty on the kitchen counter. And I said to Danielle, "Oh, you brought in the food and water?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Okay, well, it must have been Logan." And I said to Logan, I said, "Oh, you brought in the food and water so that the possums don't get it and everything." And he gives me this look like, "Huh?" And he's like, "No, I didn't." And I know my mother didn't. So it really bothered me. And I told Danielle that. I was like, who brought in the water bowl? Because if I brought in the water bowl, a couple times a day I'll bring it in, and you know, if there's dirt or whatever in there, I want to give them fresh water. So I dump it out, rinse out the water bowl, and I bring it back out to them. That's I do that. And so it wasn't me. I'd been in the bookhouse for several hours without going inside. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm not going to leap to the conclusion of paranormal, but as Laird told me about his experiences, he said, you know, uh, if it's paranormal, it's scary. And if it's not paranormal, it's possibly even scarier. Yeah, yeah, the possums did it. Yeah, thank you, Rom. Solve the mystery. That's pretty funny. Um, I don't get it. So here's the next thing. I fill up the water bowl and I put two plates out there. We've got these little plastic plates for the outdoor cats. And I put cat food in each one. So then I go back inside and I go to the restroom and then I head back out to the book house again. One of the plates is gone. Just gone. It's been less than 5 minutes. It's gone. And I thought, okay, possum went and grabbed it in his teeth. And no, because if that would have happened, there would have been dry cat food spilled everywhere. It's just gone. I don't get it. I asked Danielle about it. Nope. Logan, nope. And why would they do that anyway? And I don't have an answer for this. And that particular plate is still missing, and there's 50 cents I'll never see again um, from the Dollar Tree. Um, so I don't know. You tell me what I'm missing here. Yeah, they wouldn't. I don't think they would do it. They just start eating. I've seen them do it. They just start chomping down on it. So we got two mysteries here. On the surface, very, very ordinary. But when you think about how did this stuff happen, it's weird. How did the water bowl get inside the house? Empty, empty of water. And where did when I put the water bowl back out and two plates, and then 5 minutes later, one of the plates is gone, no mess, and the other plate's still there. I don't know. You tell me. Kim says, weird thing happened to me last night while I was asleep. There's this shelf above the head of my bed. Not very secure, but steady enough. I keep CDs and a few stuffed critters on it. Oh, okay. Last night it dumped all over my head. Did the shelf come down or just the stuff? So if the shelf came down, then yeah, not just the stuff. Oh, jeez, Kim. Wow. Time to move. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. So I will, yeah, Rollick's story, Pete's story. I'm working on the Lovecraft easing store slowly but surely. It's a humble little store right now. It's only got 4 or 5 designs, t-shirts, etc. But I hope you'll take a look. The link is actually the very first link in the show notes. Lovecraft easing merch. Click over there, and Donna, I know you've already bought stuff, and we have coffee cups and other things as well. You can get a t-shirt, you can get this too. Alan, I'm behind. I owe you a t-shirt. I'm sorry, but I promise I'll get it to you very soon. Um, this is Rick, of course, and Joe welcoming Rick to Carcosa. And half of the proceeds will go to the Michael J. Fox um, Parkinson's Foundation. We've got a King in Yellow by Robert Sankner, who's a friend of the show. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got actually 9 different designs. And then the rest of these, Cthulhu 2024, and all that kind of stuff, those you can buy too. That's not easy and stuff, but I will get a small referral off of that, is how that works. But yeah, so here's what I need. I want, especially if it's like funny stuff, but want more ideas for um, for the store. Like I'm thinking of, I'm toying with one that says, Rick is the goat, greatest of all time, and no one will know what that means unless they're a Lovecraft using podcast listener, um, which is just fine. Donna says, Laird asked us for spooky experiences, and boy, do I have them. Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to ask for them too for the Halloween show. Um, I better write this down. If Monty hasn't stolen my, nope, here, stolen my pen. Um, Halloween show, and I'm about to wrap up here, guys. I would like to read off you guys' experiences as well. If something weird but true has happened to you, email me, lovecrafteasing@gmail.com, lovecraftezine, and everyone listening live, everyone listening slash watching at any time in the future before the end of October 2024. Um, if it's the year 2035 and you're watching this, go ahead and send me the experience, but you missed the deadline. So anyway, I would like to read off you guys' strange but true experiences too. So um, that's all I got. Actually, that's not all I got. I had a few other things I was going to talk about, but we've filled up an hour, and everybody needs to get to bed, I'm sure. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, Dave. They'll be in time for the 2036 Halloween show. Um, Gosh, we've been doing this Halloween episode for a while now, haven't we? 6 or 7 years at least. I'm not sure. Starting back in the days when we used Google Hangouts and not Zoom, and Google Hangouts was not that reliable a lot of the time. So 2036. This is 2024. Oh my God, I'll be 65. Well, old age. Old age is a bitch, but it beats the alternative, right? So, guys, I want to thank you for spending your Thursday night late night with me again. Donna, if you're still here. Oh no, you are. Yeah. Hope you get a good night's sleep. Mike, hope Danielle is okay. She's getting there. The end of today was very positive. Thank you for asking. I was just heartbroken for her. But anyway, thanks for spending your evening with me, guys. And Donna, all of you, I'm glad you're here. But Donna, I think you usually watch these later, right? Because um, you're usually in bed, and like I should be. But I just appreciate you guys. Okay. Um, Thanks for spending your evening with me. This Sunday, we will have the writer Max Stanton on the show. Go to Amazon and type in Max Stanton, and Actually, you know what? The last thing I'm going to do is do that because I want to recommend a book if you guys haven't read it yet. We had him on the show a while back talking about this book. We're going to talk about his new book, Frankenstein Enterprises: Artificial Intelligence, Genuine Evil. This guy is talented, you guys. I mean it. Max is a very talented writer. The book that we chatted with him about a year or two ago is called A Season of Loathsome Miracles. Um, it's only $3.95 on Kindle, or I'm sorry, $6.95 on Kindle, um, for you Kindle folks, and it's available in print as well. This is one of the most original horror collections I've ever read. A Season of Loathsome Miracles by Max D. Stanton. Stanton. Where's Monty? Monty? Oh, no, Monty's down near the floor on his cat tree. But he might have been at the top a minute ago. Yes, he's very cute. Did you guys see the Monty knows how to play fetch? So, all right, you guys. Good night. Thanks for spending time with me. Donna, thank you for all the cat toys. And I appreciate all of you. You guys get a good night's sleep, and we'll see you on Sunday, okay? Good night.